I'm now inspired to do this talk in song, so you might want to run. So there was this one time, I was working in the theater and I was backstage in the wings, getting ready to go on stage. And there were at least 2,000 people in the audience. I wasn't nervous, no. I was just pretty sure I was either having an aneurysm or a heart attack. And I was praying that it was either one. So I turned to this actor who was standing next to me, this wonderful 75-year-old guy who'd been doing it for ages, and I was like, dude, when did the butterflies go away? Because I can't do this. And he looked at me and he was like, grasshopper. And he just looked at me like, honey. And he said, if you're not a little bit scared, you're not going to be any good. Just go out there scared. Now, saying this in front of a room full of life coaches is like taking my life in my own hands because, we spend all of our time helping people get out of fear. We help them get calm and clear. So fear can sometimes seem like the enemy. But I would say that when you're standing in front of a group of people, or really anytime you're doing something out of the ordinary, a little extraordinary, fear is actually a wonderful ally because it's there to give you that little extra hit. It gives you that boost, that juice. Now, Martha, I love you dearly, but this talk isn't for you. Sorry. And all you guys can, you guys can go get a margarita. I'll be done in like 7 minutes. Get me one too. This talk is actually for those of you guys who are sitting out there and you really would like to go puke right now. Not because you're afraid we're going to call you up on stage, but just because watching us be up here makes you feel sick. I know you're out there. Because I used to feel just like that. In fact, the very first speech I gave, I was in 3rd grade, and I only gave it because we had to give a speech in order to earn that week's recess. This was a very fine school, as you can imagine. And so, I get up to give my speech, and I'm talking like this. I'm 8 years old, and I recited a poem about a window washer. And it was even worse than I thought it would be. It was awful, but I survived. But my teacher told me that my speech was so bad that I actually still didn't even earn the damn recess. I obviously still need some coaching on this issue. But I tell you that story because I want you to know that I really do know how scary it can be to talk, not just in front of big groups of people, but on the phone and in conversations. But the thing is, damn it, you guys have shit to say. And there are people in the world who, for whatever reason, are not going to be able to hear it from Martha, Coel, or Susan, or Pam, or Terry. They really, really, really need to hear it from you. So, you can't try to not be afraid. That just does not work. But I can tell you how to take your fear and turn it into fuel. F-U-E-L. So the first step is to feel it. Now, when we think of fear, we think of clenching and tensing. But that's actually not really what fear feels like. That's what it feels like when you resist fear. That's your body fighting its own natural urge to run or hide or fight. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and just feel what it feels like to be really, really afraid. So just find that place in your stomach. Ugh. It feels awful. You're going to hate it. But it is the first step. Because once you feel the fear, then you can move on to step 2, which is to use it. So I'm actually going to ask everybody to stand up just for a second because I have a really amazing dance move that I'm going to show you. This is going to be hitting the discos any second. So you need to go back to childhood and become a steam engine. So become Thomas the Tank Engine, and you get extra points if you make little... There it is. All right, now you guys keep doing this while I talk for a second. is you're moving that energy around. So you're getting it out of your stomach where it makes you feel so sick. And you're getting it out here kind of in your space. All right? Keep going. Oh yeah, there it is. Now, if you're not into Thomas the Tank Engine, you can be a water wheel if you prefer. And if you can't be the water wheel because Oprah is standing right there, you can try a slightly more subtle movement. Even just a gentle rotation of the wrist or of the ankle will work, where you can open and close your fists. Anything that just tells your mind that it is time to let that energy start moving. Because you gotta get it moving. And so, as you guys are doing your fabulous dances, I want you to imagine that after you've gotten it moving, you're gonna let it start to coalesce a little bit, right here kind of in front of you. So sort of start swirling that energy like you're gonna make a ball right here in front of your stomach. And I'm gonna let you all sit down now because you were so good at the Thomas the Tank Engine move. But keep that ball in front of you. Keep it swirling right here in front of you. We've now come to step 3. F-U-E-L. Feel it, use it. Now you're gonna expand it. So there's this Japanese anime, manga character. It's a show called Dragon Ball. And the guy, Goku, his big trick was to take his magical powers and he would gather them into this big fireball right here in front of him. And he would be like, "Wah!" And you would get all like super fiery and explosive right here. And when he had this really concentrated fireball of power, he would go, Kamehameha! And he would beam it out into the world, and all of his enemies dropped dead. So we're going to do that, except for the part where everybody drops dead. So once you have this energy out of your stomach and you've gotten it moving around, and then you're holding it here in front of you, what you're going to do is you're going to let it get very big. And you do this using 2 things. One is your imagination. So you can visualize this orb of light that you've gathered here. And you can see it spreading out to the very back of the room that you're talking to. That's one way. The other way is to use your body. If I'm talking like this, it's very hard for me to beam out anything at all. But if I talk like this, I might look a little bit like Tony Robbins, but like I'm talking all the way to you guys in the back of the room. So you take this orb and you expand it and you let it get very big. We've now come to the final step. Feel it, use it, expand it. It's not like it's a big surprise. You guys already know what this final piece is. It's love. It's that love that is always right there under the surface. You just have to tap into it. When you can find something in your audience to love. Now, it's easy to do here. But if you're in front of an irritating audience, you can still find their weird nose hairs endearing. Or you can think about how scared they are, how worried they are. And when you can find something to love about the people that you're talking to, not only will you feel better, you will also become, like magic, an amazing public speaker. So, feel it, use it, expand it, and love. I want each one of you guys to be able to tell your own story in your own words, because there are people out there who are waiting for you to find your voice. So let your love and your fear become fuel so that you can go out and tell it. Thank you.